Alright guys, welcome to the channel. It's David Trades here. So today we're going to be talking about a trade I caught on Monday, and I'll share this trade in my inner circle where we took it together. So let's dive straight in. So essentially the trade had two TPs where we had the first TP1 somewhere around here and TP2 here. So TP1 is like 1 to 2 and TP2 is like 1 to 3. I also made mention of that when I was dropping the trade. And so essentially what we are going to be talking about today is how I was able to, one of the reasons why I was able to take this trade and the confluence for taking this trade. So then again, I'm going to head back to a video I made a couple of months back where I was talking about a tool I developed and use, which is called structure mapping. So you can check my YouTube and you see where I talked about it and all of that stuff. So what I essentially did was I took all the variables I took to understand what the structure mapping was all about and the variables I took. So essentially, like I explained in that video, I'll go through that again. Structure mapping is essentially collecting different data of how price has moved throughout time and price levels. Now, understanding this data, taking it from over a large sample period, like over 1 year, 6 months, and all of that, and applying it to the present day and getting what is the more probabilistic view of either a buy or a sell happening on that specific asset. So that's what happened on EURUSD, collecting some bunch of data which I talked about in our 2026 model. To get more info about that, you can just click the link in the description. You see a WhatsApp icon, click on that, message me, and I'll fill you on infos about that. So heading on, we now so these are essentially some of the variables. Now when I was uploading this to the AI that helped me code the indicator which I published on TradingView, it was a whole lot of this part now is just the version 5 of the indicator. It's just version 5, so I've coded it up version 1, version 2, version, and I kept improving it every time till I got to the level I wanted. So essentially what this does is that I've collected 1 year worth of data, which is the whole of 2025 plus 1 quarter of 2026, fed that to the AI, and I keep uploading more quarters to the AI of just EURUSD because that's what I mainly trade. And what it does is that it takes that, understands that data, understand that analysis, and cross-reference it with the current day of the market. So the two things we mostly look at is price levels and time, like London session, New York session, like the sessions and time highs and lows and all of that stuff. So I explained all that. And so basically how it helped cut this trade on Monday, I talked about in one of my reels. It was giving us about, today is giving about 61, giving about 63% sales, and that's not essentially the reason why I would take the trade. But essentially when it gives you a kind of analysis like this and gives you, oh, we have a higher percentage of selling over buying in line with your other analysis, you now tend to look at that trade as tend to, okay, this is something I might probably take, and this is might be a probably good setup. So yeah, that's essentially what I do, although the indicator is just showing to, because today is Friday, I'm recording this video. So I'm just trying to do this to give you a little bit of explanation into whenever you are trading, you don't necessarily need to trade the way you started trading. Life is all about evolving. Life is all about developing yourself, refining your whatever you do. So in whatever industry you find yourself, you always constantly need to improve how you do what you do, because it's always going to require that effort from you. It's always going to require that you put yourself in that position where you are aligning with what's the current needed requirement to succeed in that space. So essentially, we have been going through the rough patches in this Trump market with the wars, geopolitical events, and all of that stuff. But yeah, it's just one way to still improve your trading, add to more of the confluence as to reasons why you take your trade, and it's just essentially a good way to trade. Now, if you want to join our inner circle trading, where I drop trades like this and where I give analysis breakdown, help with risk management advice, and all of that fancy stuff, you can just click the link in the description, join our Telegram channel, and from there you can get in contact with me, or you can just click the link in the description and you will see a place where you can meet me directly on WhatsApp and I'll plug you in. So that's all for now. Stay active.